back to my channel. So for today's video I am sitting down to guide you on how to potentially survive this very weird time and how to survive lockdown. I have got so much stuff around me to try and give you guys some inspiration. I've got some ideas and I'm just going to sort of talk through how you can try and keep entertained, not bored and not always sitting on the sofa during this very crazy time. So the first section of this video is of course communication and apps. There have been so many new apps created to try and stay in touch with your friends and family, being able to have more than sort of 1 or 2 friends in a group chat. It's just amazing at the moment. So my favourite app at the moment is Houseparty. It's so much fun. So if you haven't heard of it, then it is this app where you can have up to 8 people in like a FaceTime group chat. I know apparently you can have more than 1 person on FaceTime now, which is quite cool. I never knew that. One of my friends told me, but Houseparty is a really great app because you can play games with your friends and it's just a really great way to still stay engaged and to stay sort of with it and to stay sort of like connected to your friends, which I know can be such a hard thing to do at the moment, not being able to see them, not being able to go out and do the usual thing, because the group of friends I'm a part of is very social, like I'm sure many people are, and especially at my age, like we used to go to the pub, used to go in clubbing, used to be able to just go anywhere together, whereas now we can't do that. So, you know, trying to stay in touch with your friends is so important because obviously mental health is a very big thing, obviously anyway, but during this time you can feel quite isolated. Just try and stay non-isolated as possible is so important. So Houseparty is definitely an app I would recommend 110%. If you don't want to get Houseparty, the bog standard apps like FaceTime, Skype, you know, try and stay in contact with all the family as well that you can't see. For me, my grandma is very difficult at the moment. I'm using WhatsApp audio FaceTime call and it's been really lovely, and we're going to do it this long weekend as well because obviously it being the Easter weekend we were going to spend it with my grandma and Lynn. We were going to go out, go to some National Trust places, have Easter sort of lunch with them. Obviously we can't do that, but my grandma very kindly got us an Easter egg which Lynn left at our door. So sort of like in a way it's kind of linked, but surrounding yourself with positivity. And I personally don't watch the news. Now, I never really watched the news before, obviously, all this COVID-19 and the virus and just everything, but I try not to watch the news. My mum watches it just because obviously she's older and she likes sort of like hearing everything straight off the bat and not from, you know, loads of different apps and Facebook and stuff. She'd rather hear it from the politicians themselves, which is absolutely fine, but I just find I always get so worked up and I start stressing and it's just not a good thing for me personally. So my mum just tells me, but I try and surround myself with positivity and just try not to think about the negatives, which is very difficult. I haven't really succeeded at that recently. I've got to practice what I preach, but yeah, I'm starting to get there. To self-care, which is probably one of the most important things. We've got so much time on our hands, so we need to really focus on ourselves as well, obviously as our family and our neighbours and our friends. Always you got to sort out yourself and make sure you're okay. So one of my first things that would definitely be on this agenda is pampering, self-indulgence. You know, I am a queen of pampering. I love it, and I never did it enough before lockdown happened, and since I've been in isolation / lockdown for a month now, which is crazy, I have been pampering. I've been doing my skincare, my skin's getting back to normal. It's fantastic. So I've got some of my favourite products here as well, which I'm going to show you. Pamper bath, which I definitely recommend. If you haven't watched my pamper vlog, then go and watch that because it's really good and it shows you me testing these products. But bath milks, bit more sort of like indulgent products are definitely recommended for pamper evenings, because no matter whether you're a guy, whether you're a girl, pamper baths can make you feel so much better. So I love the Superdrugs bath milk. It smells so good. Oh, it just smells delicious. It just smells divine. It creates the softest bubbles and I use quite a bit and it hasn't gone down that much, which I'm really impressed at. Moisturising the skin, pampering the skin, and this is one of my favourite products, which is the Mango Body Shop Body Yogurt. And honestly, I've had this for a while, but it's still in perfect condition. I use it every time I get out of the bath and the shower, and it just smells so good and it just makes your skin feel like feathers. It's just amazing, and you really want to look after yourself in this time, because I feel like if you look after yourself you become more positive and you become sort of happier. That's how I find anyway, and this is a really good product for that. Facial care, so I use these products on the daily pretty much, so definitely I love combating my dry skin, and this is something that I swear by, which is the Pore Balance Anti-Blackhead Stick from Primark's skincare collection. It's so Good, it looks like that, and it's just great for getting rid of dry skin, especially around my nose, and also nose strips, blemish nighttime treatments, you know, anything that you can pick up offline, you know, just to make yourself feel a bit more looked after and cared for. Penny pinching is something that my family are doing. I don't know about anyone else, but we're having to at the moment. So yeah, these nose strips are amazing. They're charcoal infused and they do such a good job. Once again, in my pamper vlog, I've tested these in many vlogs before, and you can see the results when you take the nose strip off, and you get 6 for £1. I've got the Biore ones, which you get 6 for £8. My friend very kindly got them for me, gave her the money, and I haven't tried them yet, so I'm going to do a comparison in a vlog coming soon. Face masks, anyone can use a face mask. There are so many out there in the market to buy, and honestly, this is a Soap & Glory Radiance Boosting Mask, which I'm really excited to give a go. Me and Mum are going to have a face mask tonight, which I'm really excited for. It's the little things that you need to start appreciating more. And girls just glow for it. I just love the idea of it. Soap & Glory is an amazing pamper brand. If you haven't tried it, then I don't know where you've been, but if you haven't, now's a better time than any. So definitely check them out on Boots. Yeah, Malika will back me up. Soap & Glory is holy grail status. I definitely recommend indulging yourself in a hair mask. Now this is from the Pound Shop. I haven't yet tried this, so if you have, let me know. But it literally smells like the shampoo. I've got the shampoo from this range, Argan Oil. Cannot wait to give this a go. I keep saying I'm going to try it, and I just never get around to it, and I'm going to, because I love it. I just love the shampoo, and I'm sure this will really help my scalp, because I have really dry skin on my scalp. It can get quite sort of irritated, and I feel like a good old hair mask is what it's going to need. So self-care covers a lot of topics. Pampering, maybe putting a bit of makeup on, getting dressed, you know, it covers a load of aspects really. But one of my favourites, absolute favourites, is reading. I used to love reading with a passion, and then because of life and working and going out, like I sort of dropped it a bit, and now having all this free time on my hands, I've grabbed books again. So I've got so many on my list on my phone. It's just great having an iPhone. I'm sure other phones do it as well. But when I go onto notes, I can actually do a tick list. And this is what I'm going to mention a bit later on in the video. But I have now made a list of all the books I have not read yet that I really want to read. Not in order of which one first, but just books that I want to read throughout the time that I've got. But I have got one to show you. I'm currently reading, and I try to read a bit of every night before I go to bed, because it's just a great way to unwind and sort of de-stress. And this is The Boy Who Sneaks in My Bedroom Window by Kirsty Mosley. Now, I've mentioned this book quite a few times on my channel, so I'm sorry if I'm boring you about it, but it's just so good, and I definitely recommend her as an author to check out if you haven't. You can get her books off Amazon and that kind of thing. And yeah, a book I just feel is the best way to sort of escape reality, kind of YouTube and watching movies and stuff. Like, it's just one of the best ways to escape. Talking about movies, I absolutely love a good old Disney classic, action, Marvel. I love all kinds of things, to be honest, because someone asked me on one of my recent Instagram question tabs, what's your favourite kind of movie? And I'm like, I don't have one set favourite. I love a whole range of movies. A few to show you. The modern day Cinderella that's got Lily James and Cate Blanchett in, and Helena Bonham Carter. 3 of the most amazing female actresses ever. Maleficent, that's got Angelina Jolie, who once again is my woman crush every day of the week. And Beauty and the Beast, which has got Dan Stevens and Emma Watson in. Honestly, who doesn't love a bit of Disney? Obviously, I know it's personal preference, but I know quite a lot of the world's population loves Disney. Of chick flicks and rom-coms is once again one of my favourite categories of movies. So a few of them today is Letters to Juliet, that's got Amanda Seyfried in, great movie. Bride Wars, which has got Kate Hudson and Anne Hathaway. This is so funny, even my mum likes that one. Wild Child with Emma Roberts, classic. Monte Carlo, which I don't think a lot of people know about actually, which has got Leighton Meester. She was in, sorry if I pronounced her name really badly, I think I have. She was in Gossip Girl, Selena Gomez of course, and Katie Cassidy, who I haven't seen in many things, to be honest. She was also in Gossip Girl, but this was the first thing I ever saw her in. And of course, Mean Girls. I don't think you can talk about chick flicks without bringing this movie into it. One of the most requested topics to talk about in this video is how to keep busy. Now, obviously, it's a lot easier said than done. I find that, because the things I'm talking about now in this video, I haven't really been sticking to that much recently. I've just been finding it really hard to keep positive and keeping my head up, but that's also something, a topic I'm going to touch on in a bit in the video. But one thing I would definitely recommend is maybe try something new, maybe create a YouTube channel. I know quite a few of my friends have. Create a YouTube channel, like start a new hobby, which I have got something to show. Photography. I absolutely love photography. It was the one GCSE that I actually got a decent grade in. I got a B, and this is my camera. I know it's bog standard, it's nothing flashy, but it does the job and it can get some really good shots. And you know, when you're going on your 1 hour of exercise, you know, you could just get a couple of snippets and a couple of shots really quickly, not interfering with anyone, and it could just be a really good hobby to sort of like start, you know. Everybody's trying to distract themselves and find something new to do, so getting a new hobby could be a really good idea. Once again, YouTube channel, photography, maybe drawing, art, you know, music, learning a musical instrument. Now, this is one that you've got to be careful about, setting yourself tasks. Now, I'm one of those people that will set myself a little to-do list. I will get like one thing done and then I'll see that I've got quite a few things left and I'll feel really guilty about it and go, for God's sake, I'm useless, I'm hopeless. No, you can't have that mentality, because if you have that mentality, you're just going to feel really bad about yourself and you're not going to feel good. And that's obviously the aim of the game, to try and stay as positive and lighthearted during this lockdown as possible. So yeah, set yourself realistic small tasks. I use notes on my iPhone because I just find it the easiest way to set myself tasks, and I find it really satisfying ticking things off. Tick lists get me to do stuff. I swear to God, it is hack of my life to get me to do stuff and get me organised. Get me a tick list and I'll be like the Flash, zooming around doing stuff. With things recently to do to keep busy has been decluttering and organising. Now, I know this has caused a bit of a problem because so many people are having spring cleaning and getting rid of loads of stuff, and obviously things that they can't donate to charity, they've been chucking in the bin, which is obviously fine normally, but because the bin men and bin collectors can't get round to collect all the bins like they normally would, it's been causing a bit of a pile up. So obviously, when I say declutter, I'm not trying to encourage you to throw everything out, but obviously I've been organising my room. My room was disgraceful when I was able to go here, there and everywhere. My clothes would be chucked everywhere, wouldn't be hoovered for weeks. My studio light would always stay out. It was a bit of a nightmare. My bed would hardly ever get made. It was bad. So I really used this time to focus on becoming a bit more sort of like respectable and have a bit more respect for my room and the space I've been really grateful and lucky to be given, you know, and using my space wisely is one of my favourite things to do. I love sort outs, I love organising. I may rejig my room at some point and move around the furniture, I'm not too sure yet, so that could be a fun video. But yeah, just sort of like reorganising and decluttering can sometimes be really, really good for the mind and the soul, and a great way to keep busy. Food. Once again, one of the things that was really brought up when I put a tab on my Instagram story about this video. Food is quite a big one at the moment because obviously we're not much to do. I always find myself snacking. I'm not sure about you guys. I'm trying to curb it a bit, but it's really hard. So some of my favourite snacks are going to come up on the screen now. Tuck biscuits, cheddars. I can't show you Cars cheese melts, but you should know what they look like if you've been watching my channel. Can't show you because I kind of eaten them all. But yeah, Tuck biscuits, cheddars, I love crackers, digestive chocolate biscuits, they're all my kind of favourite snacks. However, I have been really getting into fruit. Now, I know fruit's not the best for you if you eat it in high quantities because of the natural sugars and stuff like that. However, my favourite fruits are strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. Absolutely blooming love them. And I love them with meringue nests as well, Greek style honey yoghurt, brilliant. I'm not a fan of watermelon or melon in any form, to be fair, which I know is so controversial. So many of you people that are watching this will be like, what? You don't like melon? No, my mum loves it, so that's why there's quite a bit of it in our fridge if you've seen it in the vlogs, but I'm not a fan. I'm just trying to sort of like balance out my diet a bit more. It's not worked every single day, not going to lie to you, but I am starting to get there. So, motivation. Very hard, trust me. I know, I've been really struggling for motivation because I just think I wake up at 7:30, 8:30 and I'm like, there's no point me getting up because technically there isn't. I haven't got work at the moment, which potentially pending is changing. So obviously once I've got work, I think I will obviously be a lot more motivated. I'll have more of a structure, more of a routine. But at the moment and previously, I haven't had any work, I haven't had structure, I haven't had routine, I haven't had that get up and go incentive and, you know, sort of like mentality. So what I've been finding really helpful is like watching positive influences. So I've been watching loads of Zoe's old vlogs with Mark and their friends and their family because they're really funny, really light-hearted, remind me of the good old times, and that we will have those good old times again at some point in the future, and we'll be reunited with our loved ones at some point in the future. And they make me laugh. All of her videos make me laugh in a good way. They just make me feel really comforted and at ease, and I find that really, really helpful for me to go, you know what, no, Zoe's making her bed, I need to make my bed, I need to sort my life out. And it's always great background noise as well, doing stuff around my room with one of her vlogs or one of someone that I like to watch vlogs or channel on in the background on YouTube, because it just makes me feel like I'm not alone, because it's not no noise. I hate silence. Focus on things you love, and sort of just like, don't put too much pressure on yourself, because that really won't motivate you, and don't feel bad if you don't get certain things done. We have, as I'm sure you're aware, have got quite a bit of time on our hands, so obviously don't do what I've done, don't waste your days. However, if you do have a bit of a slobbish day and you're in bed all day, don't hate yourself for it. Sometimes you need it, and the next day you can get up and go, no, I'm going to do this, this and this today, and I'll do this, this and this tomorrow. So you don't put too much pressure on yourself, because if you do that, you're just not going to want to do anything. The last topic is money. Now, I know this is quite a difficult one because a lot of people are in a lot of different situations. So the first scenario is if you don't have a job and you're obviously the government are helping you either with the 80% of your wage, or you're getting some kind of benefit to help you just survive and live. Obviously that's going to be really difficult, and I understand that completely from a family that has affected. And also if you're just not in employment at all like myself. I'm very lucky, my old job were absolute gems. I managed to have obviously enough money to last over 2 months. However, there are things, you know, there are things I like to treat myself to or whatever, and there's things I want to help my mum with, you know, be able to help her and take that weight off her shoulders, more importantly, you know, and a job is going to help with that. So obviously I've been looking for a temporary fixment, just until this all blows over, so I can go back into something permanent. But yeah, budgeting obviously is so important, and I am not normally a good budgeter, but I've been incredible, and if I can budget, so can you. Honestly, I am the worst with money. As soon as I get paid, I obviously give my mum the money, my phone, everything else that needs to be paid, and then it's like spend until like the first week's done and I've got literally nothing. It's terrible. And also because I have quite a high social, like me and my friends, we always go out and do stuff, it's like crazy. I wouldn't change it at all, but it's like I need to budget my money a bit better. So definitely have a savings. If you've got a savings, use it. Put even £20-30 away. It's still a lot of money in the great grand scheme of things, and since we're not going out and you can't physically spend it on other stuff, try and do it that way. Just trying to like set limits on yourself, because I know with all the spare time, all the online brands that are still working to send out their parcels and stuff and their products are gonna market it. They're gonna say we've got 80% off, we got this percent off, we got this and that, and it's gonna be such a good way to suck you in to spend your money. Obviously, I'm not saying don't do that. If you've got the money that you can do it, go and treat yourself, because at this time it's about self-care, as I said, and doing what makes you happy. However, try and be responsible with it, because I know how difficult it can be. But one thing I have invested is a pair of ice pods. Now, I've mentioned this over on my Instagram, I've mentioned them in a vlog, and I've tested them in a vlog, but these are ice pods. They're not in the box currently. Look like it came in here. The actual ice pod's case was covered in this to protect it from scratching. It came with a charger cable, which is currently being used to charge, and that's what it looks like. Now, ice pods, along with a load of other brands that are trying to sell cheaper alternatives to AirPods that are made by Apple, these retail for £79. As I'm sure you can imagine, I don't have a spare £79 at the moment to spend on new earphones, since I've got 2 pairs of normal earphones by Apple that suit a Apple iPhone X, which is what I've got and what I film on. But I saw these on a Islanders Instagram page, Jess Hayes, and she obviously said that they've got a £50 discount, so they were down to £29, which I thought was really, really good. I investigated about them, I did my research, and I heard really good things. So you know what, I've always wanted a pair. I've seen Malika with her like legit AirPods and the different cases you can get, and it just seemed really exciting and different, and they are really nice, and they're going to be so much more convenient if I go for a walk than having the wire getting everywhere, you know. But yeah, and one thing I will suggest about money, make a wish list. I know Amazon do wish lists. I don't know how many other apps and companies do it, but I have a wish list on my notes on my phone of products that I've wanted, because there's so many things I like the look of. So like that sort of like hair removal electrical thing that you can do for your brows, that suction product that uses to get out blackheads, that thing that seen on Instagram that you sort of gently sort of scrape away your skin, you'll get away peach fuzz and dead skin cells and stuff like that. So there's all those kind of pampering products, once again, that I really would like, but I put on my wish list and I'm going to save up for. One thing I've still stuck to is Birchbox. Now this was the first ever Birchbox I got, which was their collaboration with Rochelle Humes. Now, obviously, if you don't have the spare money for it, don't pressure yourself and think, oh, everyone else is doing it. Don't put yourself in that position. However, if you do have the spare money of $12.95, I believe it is, a month for a box, and that's a much cheaper alternative to then going into like ordering £50 worth of makeup or skincare off Superdrug or Space NK or Boots. This is just a great way to get your fix of beauty products for so much more for such better value, because you're saving so much money, and I really like them. I've still got my box collecting with all my Birchbox products, doing a testing video, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. But I'm really excited for my next box to come, because it is a collaboration with Anthropologie, which is a brand and company I've heard so much about, and I have not yet been let down by Birchbox. I don't want to jinx it. That is everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, let us know any of your tips or ideas or anything you've been doing during lockdown to keep yourself occupied, because we're all in this together. We need to stick together and help each other out just to make it a bit more bearable, you know. But if you ever need me, go check out my Instagram, which is Lily_Williamson_18, because it'd be really nice to have you over there. I do a lot of YouTube engagement on my stories, and it'd just be really nice to have you, and my DMs are always open. And my comment section is always open to anyone that needs a chat. Stick together, show each other some love, and yeah, I will see you in the next vlog or video, whichever one you watch first.